And dominant performance tonight by the Timberwolves, beating the Atlanta Hawks 138-116 tonight at Target Center. Exactly the kind of performance the Wolves needed to see. And we welcome you to Wolves Live, presented by Postman Law. I'm Marnie Gellner with Tom Crean. And Tom, the Timberwolves had been lacking energy. They'd been lacking connectiveness, as Chris Finch described it. Tonight, they had all of that. They had ball movement. They had good offense. They had good defense. This was exactly the kind of game the Timberwolves needed to see.
And they did it without having any practice in between these games, which is amazing, which just goes to show it's mental, it's a mindset, and they absolutely attacked tonight. I mean, right from the very beginning, you could see it was going to be different. They made each other better. I mean, that's the bottom line. No matter what, like we said at the pregame show, no matter what you're going through, no matter what you think, you cannot take it out on your teammates. Your job and your responsibility is to make your teammates better all night long, and that's exactly what happened.
Let's look at some of this energy and connectivity and sharing the basketball. The Timberwolves finished with 36 assists tonight. Their season high was 37, and this was just one example of the Timberwolves being a really connected team that moved the ball very well tonight.
Well, they did, and I mean, you could see it from the beginning. There was a readiness, there was an awareness, there was movement. They went to the glass. Even if they didn't get a board, they were out and they were running, and they really, like that old term of imposing your will, they did that from the beginning, and they had a lot of fun playing the game. I mean, there's no doubt about it. And you mentioned the assists. I mean, that ball was on a string the majority of the evening.
It was, and sometimes the beneficiary is the guy who's sitting to my right, Ayo Dosunmu, yes, who is just played in his second Timberwolves game. We haven't even had the chance to officially meet until you just sat down a few seconds ago. Thanks for joining us live here. This actually is what Timberwolves basketball really looks like.
Thank you.
And the first game that you were here, I know you were sitting on the sideline in your sweatpants. That was the Pelicans game. The second game was the Clippers game. Neither of those two were very reflective of what this team is like. This was much more like it. What did this game sort of feel like to you?
It felt great. One thing I can honestly say, my week or so being here, is the fans are amazing, and the atmosphere is amazing, the energy is amazing, and you could feel it. And then the atmosphere, it feels like playoff basketball. It feels, each and every game feels like playoff basketball, and that's exciting because I know that the fans, they really care about the team.
When you came into the game yesterday afternoon for the first time, you got a standing ovation, to your point about the fans being amazing. You fit a missing piece for this team. There is responsibility that comes with that, but there's also such an opportunity for you, and we're seeing pieces of it. How do you see yourself fitting on this Wolves team?
Just bringing my my energy, my shooting, being able to guard multiple positions, being able to push the pace. That's why I like the future as I continue to learn the plays, learn how we like to do things, get some more games under my belt. I think it'll be great.
Well, it looked like you were having a lot of fun out there tonight. On the other end here, we have Tom Crean, the legendary college coach from Marquette and from Georgia. When you were playing at Illinois, he's got a question for you tonight.
Yep. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great, Ayo. Welcome to Minneapolis. I've been following you since you were a sophomore, and I've always loved your game, but what you've done now, your three-point percentage is as high as it's ever been in the NBA. Your three-point attempts are as high. What is the biggest adjustment that you've made over the last year or maybe year and a half to get your three-point stroke where it's at right now?
A lot of reps. That's the main thing I can say. If I had to give you one thing, is I say a lot of reps. Just really trusting in the work, get in the film room, understanding where I can get shots at, understanding how I can become a better shooter. If you look at any good shooter, no one is born like that. Eventually, at some point in time, they're putting in a lot of reps, and then confidence comes with reps. And I just attacked the summer. I had shoulder surgery, so right after my shoulder surgery, it just gave me a different look of the game, gave me a different appreciation of the game. And I just attacked rehab, and I got up a lot of shots each and every day. And I grew confidence, and then faith in the Lord, Jesus Christ, being there for me, allowed me to overcome.
Great game tonight, Ayo. It was really fun to watch you out there. 21 points off the bench. Congrats.
Thank you.
Ayo Dosunmu in his best game yet as a Timberwolf, but
Thank you.
with more to come. And the Wolves take care of the Hawks. And Io was part of a really strong Timberwolves bench performance tonight. 44 points off the bench, 21 for Io DeSumo, and 13, Tom, came from Bones Highland.
Well, I think when you look at the future of Bones Highland and Io together, I don't think there's any question that whether they're starting, whether one's starting, the other's coming off the bench, or they're both coming off the bench, they are going to impact the game on both ends. They're both high-level energy players. They both have the ability to get downhill, play with wiggle, play with change of pace, great off the defense, make threes off the catch, make threes off the dribble, and they just have a boundless energy that they play with, and I think that's going to impact the entire Timberwolves team.
You know, speaking of the entire Timberwolves team, you could go up and down the lineup today and pick out guys who played well and who contributed. And one of the areas where there were contributions was in the assists. Yesterday afternoon, just over 24 hours ago, the Wolves had their second lowest assist total of the season. Tonight, they had their second highest assist total of the season. And this is the kind of balance that the Wolves needed to see.
Well, there's no doubt. And this is the kind of film that you not only show tomorrow, but you can show throughout the season of what happens, how you fix your own problems. And that's all it was. I mean, a problem is something that you can correct. A lot of times you got to manage a dilemma. This was a problem. They were not moving the ball. They were not playing at the level that they needed to. And frankly, they got outworked yesterday by the Clippers, but that was not the case tonight. And it just gives great ammunition for Chris Finch and this staff to say, hey, you guys fixed it. We didn't even have practice. This is what you're capable of. From the very beginning, there was no effort of losing the ball or not being strong with the ball or not making the next pass or not being down ready to defend. It was there from the beginning, and that's something they have to build on this if they're going to compete for a championship.
And this just looks like a totally different team when the ball moves the way it did tonight. And as you said, it's there. They don't even need a practice.
A quick start that your team got off to right away, a lot of energy right from the get-go. Could you feel the intentionality of them trying to put that energy in to get things rolling?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, it was obvious, you know, quick decision-making, a lot of next-action basketball, you know, unlocked a lot of great shots, cutting off the ball. You know, I thought Julius and Ant were really great in that. They led the way, making those quick decisions. And you know, all credit to really to Pablo. Pablo put together, you know, a great like teaching tape for us of what we need to be, and the guys went out and executed.
Seemed like Julius getting to Rudy down low was kind of really opened up a lot of things for you guys when he makes that pass.
Yeah, they had a great chemistry tonight. And you know, against the zone in particular, got us enough baskets when we really needed it. But you know, I thought Julius was really good with his decision making, like quickness, just getting, you know, passed up some stuff early on for the sake of the movement of the offense, and it really benefited. So.
I think tonight we really saw the fifth gear that Io has in transition. I mean, how explosive can that be for you guys as a weapon kind of going forward?
It's huge. You know, what I love about him is just like kind of straight line. He sees an angle, he takes it, you know, doesn't overcomplicate anything, puts his shoulder down, and he's got a nice little finishing touch. So
there have been other times this year where it seems like there's been intentional about getting other guys looks through actions early in the games.
Yeah.
Do you see a scenario where you might just have to script games early to get what you want rolling, I guess?
Yeah, I think we've come out and scripted some stuff, but that was largely unscripted. That was just, you know, like a return to our concepts and our free-flowing stuff. But we just had to commit to it. You know, I think that's really the big key.
Do you think that Io and Bones together, I mean, it seems like Bones almost had it incumbent upon him to be the pace setter, and now he's got a running mate.
Oh, for sure,
You think that really, you know, kind of opens things up, not only for both of them, but the other three, because there's two people?
Yes.
Like that?
Yeah, and they both can share some handling duties.
Io's going to fit in well in those non-Rudy line. I mean, fit in well with Rudy too, but specifically that group's had some versions when Julius and Nas are out there really work, and some haven't. What do you think Io can bring to that group?
It's, that lineup needs great, ball contained, point of attack, game plan discipline. He's really solid, if not, better in all those categories. So.
I like what Chris said. I like it all. And I love the fact that the stats showed just a bottom line of efficiency. And one that's glaring to me is the 70 points in the paint. And I think a lot of that also, the threes, the 16 threes, became because of a lot of inside-out attack. And I think Chris said a lot of really good things, but the one thing that really stands out outside of the initial way they came into the game was that they passed up shots for the betterment of the offense. And I think that was clear. That was clear from the beginning. It made a huge difference, Marnie. Again, I don't know the exact numbers of threes that came through the paint or came on a skip pass of reversal, but they were high. And I just think that's what you want to do. And I mean, that's the kind of tape you keep building on. But now you have even more to show this team. Again, like I said when the game ended, you can get out of your own way quickly by just making sure that you're making everybody else better that's on that floor with you, and take advantage. And this was a great example of going from good to great, people want to talk about, because they had opportunities that they might take at other times, but they knew for this team to click tonight, the ball had to move and they had to get a better shot, and that's exactly what they did.
And the Timberwolves were rewarded because they played the right way, and the results were in the score.